तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्।
शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये अगजा आनन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानां एकदन्तमुपास्महे। एकदन्तम् उपास्महे। पाहि गजानन दीनावना पाहि गजानन दीनावना सिन्दूरवदना श्रितजनपालना गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविन्दा गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविन्दा गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविन्दा गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविन्दा मंदर गिरिधर शिरडिपुरीश्वर मंदर गिरिधर शिरडिपुरीश्वर जय परतीश्वर साई शिवा जय परतीश्वर साई शिवा जय परतीश्वर साई शिवा जय परतीश्वर साई शिवा गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविन्दा गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविन्दा सुन्दर रूपा श्री साई देवा 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 वैदेही मोहन नारायणा 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 गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविन्दा गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविन्दा मंदर गिरिधर शिरडिपुरीश्वर गिरिधर शिरडिपुरीश्वर जय परतीश्वर साई शिवा जय परतीश्वर साई शिवा गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविन्दा गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविन्दा सुन्दर रूपा श्री साई देवा सुन्दर रूपा श्री साई देवा वैदेही मोहन नारायणा 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 गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविन्दा
गिरिधर बाला हे नंदलाला गिरिधर बाला हे नंदलाला देवकी नंदन श्याम गोपाला श्याम गोपाला श्याम गोपाला साई गोपाला बंसीधर श्याम गोपाला बंसीधर साई गोपाला बंसीधर साई गोपाला गिरिधर बाला हे नंदलाला देवकी नंदन श्याम गोपाला गिरिधर बाला हे नंदलाला केशव माधव श्याम गोपाला श्याम गोपाला साई गोपाला बंसीधर श्याम गोपाला बंसीधर साई गोपाला बंसीधर साई गोपाला गिरिधर बाला हे नंदलाला
राधिका जीवना राधिका जीवना राधिका जीवना राधिका जीवना कृष्ण जनार्दना कृष्ण कृष्ण जनार्दना कृष्ण जनार्दना राधे गोविंदा राधे गोपाला राधे गोविंदा राधे गोपाला राधे गोविंदा राधे गोपाला राधे गोविंदा राधे गोपाला देवकी नंदना देवकी नंदना देवकी नंदना देवकी नंदना नंदनंदना हे गोपिका रंजना नंदनंदना हे गोपिका रंजना नंदनंदना हे गोपिका रंजना नंदनंदना हे गोपिका रंजना मुरली मोहना मुरली मोहना मुरली मोहना मुरली मोहना श्री मधुसूदना श्री मधुसूदना कृष्ण कृष्ण श्री मधुसूदना राधिका जीवना राधिका जीवना कृष्ण जनार्दना कृष्ण जनार्दना राधे गोविंदा राधे गोपाला राधे गोविंदा राधे गोपाला देवकी नंदना देवकी नंदना नंदनंदना हे गोपिका रंजना नंदनंदना हे गोपिका रंजना मुरली मोहना मुरली मोहना श्री मधुसूदना श्री मधुसूदना कृष्ण कृष्ण श्री मधुसूदना कृष्ण कृष्ण श्री मधुसूदना राधिका जीवना
मोहना
अयोध्यवासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम। 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 पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन 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 राम। अयोध्यवासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन 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 राम। पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन 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 राम। अयोध्यवासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम। अयोध्यवासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम। पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। अयोध्यवासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम। अयोध्यवासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम। पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन 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 राम। अयोध्यवासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम।
दीन बांधवा श्री साई देवा। देवा
गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दम् गोविन्दं भज मूढमते गोविन्दं भज मूढमते भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दम् गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति दुःखकरणे नहि नहि रक्षति दुःखकरणे पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि मरणम् पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि मरणम् पुनरपि जठने जय रे शयनम् पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम् इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे भज गोविन्दम् भज गोविन्दम् भज गोविन्दं भज मूढमते गोविन्दं भज मूढमते भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दम् गोविन्दं भज मूढमते.
First thumb rule is precisely that every action has a reaction, a very specific and particular reaction. In his discourse on the 6th of May 1988, Swami says that when you plant a lemon seed, you get a lemon fruit which is sour. When you plant a mango seed, you get a mango fruit which is sweet. Move on to the second thumb rule. The second thumb rule states that different reactions have different time scales, and this is very interesting. In fact, in his discourse on the 12th of July 1995, which is a Guru Purnima discourse, Swami says that different actions elicit reactions with different reaction times. When you fall down, the reaction is immediate. You grimace in pain, you hold your knee, and you feel the pain immediately. At the same time, Swami says, when you eat food, the digestion takes a few hours. That is why when you get a belch or a burp, it comes after a few hours or after some time after eating food, because it is not immediate. And then Swami goes on to say, when you plant a seed, that seed grows into a tree over a few months or few years. So that's a very delayed reaction. Now this second thumb rule, which says that different actions have different reaction times, is very, very important because it answers both the critical questions that have been asked. One, why does good happen to bad people? That was a question that was asked by, Praha.
Yeah.
Praha asked, why do good things happen to a bad person? And the theme that we have taken up today, why does bad happen even when we are doing good? Both these are answered by this second thumb rule, because thumb rule number 3 says that mathematically +1 and -1 become 0. But in karmic mathematics, it's not like that. +1 and -1 is +1 and -1, meaning when you do good, you have to enjoy the result of the good. When you do bad, you have to enjoy, if you can enjoy, the result of the bad. You cannot wipe out a bad deed by doing a good deed. You will get both.
Nothing is missed. Everything is recorded. Yes, your boss may or may not see what good you're doing. Your friend may not see the good that you've done for him. Your parents might not see the bad, the mischief that you're doing. But everything is recorded, is what Swami says. And I think we don't need any other proof other than the fact that Swami is saying that this is how it happens. And be sure when you're born with this karma mala.
In fact, Prem, I think it is this singular belief in this one particular theory that has kept the Bharatiya culture so honest, following Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema. Because when we see the story of Alexander invading India, he faced a very strange problem where two farmers came fighting. One farmer said that, I have sold this land to the other farmer, and in that land gold has been found. And the other farmer says that it was his land, he has sold it to me, now the gold is found. So Alexander is thinking that this is a problem, how do I resolve it? Then he realized the problem is, each one wants the pot of gold to be given to the other, saying that I sold the land, it's not my gold. And he's saying that no, I bought only the land, I didn't buy the gold. And Alexander wondered, what is it that makes them so generous and giving? Dharmic. One of the reasons is this, believe, knowing that nobody else may know that I'm doing wrong, but there is a recording system that will go on. And in the beginning when we told the thumb rules, as Prem said, we had missed out the rebirth aspect. We had said it generally, every action has a reaction, the reaction may be delayed, and for every good you face the good, every bad you face the bad. And now it's that the good and bad can come across generations, across lifetimes. And that's why now we don't have just present karma, we have past karma and future karma as well. Now to integrate all these three, present karma, past karma and future karma, there is a beautiful analogy. But before that, let me just quote what Swami says in the 18th chapter of the Satyasai Vahini. Swami defines all these three kinds of karmas. Swami says, the stored karma that is slowly being worked out by the individual life after life, that is Sanchita karma. Then Swami says, the consequences of the acts that are affecting this life is Prarabdha karma. The activity engaged in now, which is bound to affect the future, is the Agami karma. And this is from the 18th chapter of the Satyasai Vahini. Now the same thing is explained by a beautiful Vedantic analogy of a person shooting arrows. The image on your screen shows you that the person is having a quiver of arrows and he has got an arrow ready on his bow and he has shot some arrows towards the target. There are some arrows that are also flying towards the target. Now this quiver of arrows which are there on his back is called Sanchita karma. It is a sum total of all the karmas done so far in life. The arrow that has already been shot, which is flying in the air or which has gone and hit the target. Those arrows constitute what is called prarabdha karma. In other words, we need to use multiple analogies because no analogy comprehensively and completely captures karma theory. The only analogy that captures the complete karma theory is karma theory itself. But we can explain different aspects using different analogies. So to understand prarabdha, it is like if Sanchita is the big cloud of karma above my head, big cloud that I have accumulated across lifetimes, one portion of the cloud I take and come for this birth. That is unchangeable. That's why I am either born intelligent, or I am born with a disability, or I am born into a rich family, or I am born to parents who are not so disciplined or cultured. All these, that determines our prarabdha or what is there in this birth, which we cannot change. That's what we have come with. That's why it is often said, what you meet in life is destiny, how you meet it is self-effort. You can't change, that is destined. That prarabdha part, that is like the arrow that has already been shot. But then in the future, what we are going to do, in our present future, when I say present future, I am meaning future in this birth. In the present future, I can still change my actions so that I am benefited as a soul. And that is agami karma, which is the arrow that I am about to shoot, which is loaded on my bow. Now here's one catch. The catch is, every arrow goes and hits the target, but every arrow which hits the target comes back to my quiver. Very strong and very difficult cycle to get out of, right? Every arrow I shoot is going to hit a target, and every arrow that hits the target is going to come back in my quiver, meaning the agami karma, which is the action I am going to do now in this, now meaning from now on in this birth, will also go and hit a target, and it's going to come back in my quiver as sanchita karma. It will go and add back to the load of the karma, the cloud of karma that I have above. That is why Swami says, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. We are born, we do karma, and we again come back. Maybe we do only good, but we still have to come back to enjoy the good fruits. Swami would say that tamasic karma, the bad, slothful activities, is like an iron chain. It binds you. Rajasic karma, activity, passion-filled karma, is like a silver chain. That will also bind you. Sattvic karma is like a gold chain, but that will also bind you, because we have to come back again to enjoy the fruits. So how do we get out of this cycle? Well, there is a catch, there is a secret. It's beautiful. It's not a secret actually, because Swami has revealed it, but I think that we will save for the future. But this is the basic understanding of karma. Once again, if we go back to the bowman, all the arrows in the quiver is sanchita karma, the total load of everything that we have done. The arrow that's already shot, we can't do anything about it. That is what we call as destiny or prarabdha. Destiny is something that is limited only to this birth. That we have to keep in mind. When we say destiny, it doesn't mean all the births together. This birth, prarabdha, that is the arrow that has already been shot. We can do nothing about it. But the arrow we can do something about is the one that is in our bow, where we are going to shoot. That is agami karma. And in shooting this agami karma in one skillful technique which Swami has told, well, we can ensure that that arrow doesn't go and hit the target and come back to the quiver, because that is the rule. Whichever arrow hits the target is going to come back to the quiver, and we are forever stuck in this cycle. That secret will come later on, but this is the basic understanding of sanchita karma, agami karma, which is in the bow, and prarabdha karma, which is the arrow that has already been shot.
Why people do not get due punishment for their mistakes in this very lifetime? Why should somebody undergo punishment for a crime they did in a previous lifetime? Same manner, what we are undergoing today is only the result of past karmas, but the learning happens in a much deeper state than the superficial memory. Another analogy which probably I can give is, imagine you have a computer and we always have this two memories that a computer has.
RAM and ROM.
A RAM and ROM, a random access memory and a read-only memory. Now imagine switching on a computer and switching off the computer is like birth and death, right? So that random access memory is that memory which is active only when the system is switched on till it is switched off. So this memory that we are all talking of, which we use, I read a book, I remember that, I share that with you, or you remember your friends, you remember others' birthdays, all of this is like a random access memory which only lasts from birth to death.
Or like a cache memory.
Right.
Yes.
But if you want to install an application in the computer, if you want to install a software, that installation does not happen in random access memory, but it happens in the read-only memory. So that when you switch on the computer next time, the software is still there. Otherwise, it would be ridiculous. You buy a software for $100 and every time you switch off, it goes away, right? So that learning happens in a much deeper level. And even as we are going through life in this manner, that learning is happening in a memory which Swami would call as Chitta, which very deeply understands this journey that is beyond lifetimes. And that is why this question always troubles us. Why am I suffering now? I don't know what I did. You actually know, probably your conscious mind does not know, but your subconscious mind knows, and it is learning even as you're going through this process.
When everything is destiny, we spoke about destiny or a prarabdha, it is already done. We have come with that prarabdha in this birth, right? How we are born, our situation, it's all decided already. So she asks, when everything is destiny, then what is the use of action? And if there are many such questions like this as to if so much is destined, what do we do? You know, there is a lot we can do. That is the reason Swami has given so much emphasis to effort, because otherwise why would Swami give emphasis to effort? You know, if we look at it in a way, whether we say destiny or effort, both are like two sides of the same coin. Even when we say Sanchita Karma is the load of all the karmas that we have done across all our lives. What is that? Action only. Our actions across lifetimes is what has come as a quiver of arrows behind. So what we call as our Sanchita Karma, you know, that huge cloud of karma, is not some destiny that is put on our head. It is nothing but a sum total of all our actions only. Actions have resulted in that big cloud over our head, and actions are the way to help us break that cloud as well. It is like that, you know, just that because prarabdha is something that we have already shot and there is not much immediate change that we can do, we think action is useless. We say, I am already fated, I am already having this disability, there is nothing I can do. I am a victim of my anger, I can do nothing. By nature, I am adharmic, I can do nothing. Those are escapist ideas. Of course, it's not as if today onwards I decide, okay, I will be a calm person. 2 days I have been a calm person and yet people are not responding well to me. To expect immediate response is not correct. You know, I remember, Prem, when we had gone on a vacation in Goa, we were on a ship, we went for a cruise. For the first time, I saw the person controlling the ship. And you know, I just thought like a steering wheel, he'll turn it. No, he was turning it like wheels. So many, a car would have turned about 500 circles, I think, the way he was turning that. But then I realized that the ship is so huge in its mass and momentum that slowly, when he decides 1 kilometer before only that I have to make a turn and starts turning. In 1 kilometer, it takes a turn. Possibly our backload of such Sanchita Karma is so huge that we have to repeatedly do. That's why Krishna says, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate, meaning Abhyasa, practice, and detachment. Don't be attached to the fruits of the action. Do a lot of practice. So that what I wanted to emphasize is that whether you say destiny or effort, they are nothing but the same thing seen in different perspective. So just as our actions have resulted in our karma, our actions can burn our karma too. But as
शांति शांति शांति